Terry always used to say to me, he'd say, you know, the big difference between us, Neil, is you believe that one day there'll be a good Omens movie. I only believe it, I will only believe it will ever happen if I'm sitting next to you at the premiere with a big bag of popcorn, and I don't promise I'll believe it then. And I like to think, if you were here right now, you might believe, because we made it there.
I wanted to get your thoughts on what you see as her role being as part of this story.
I think she kind of grounds it in a way. I remember me was talking about that. She kind of grounds it. You have all these really interesting and almost like statement characters. And Anathema's a little bit of everything, but essentially she's like a whole, like Zerfel says, she's a whole lot of love. And she kind of grounds it. It makes it a little bit more realistic in my perspective, I think.
Jon, you were very happy when you heard that your character was going to be developed in a bigger way than he's represented in the books. What were your hopes for how that would be?
Mostly just more lines. Because I don't have any in the novel. So, more is better, I tend to think. I was very pleased that Neil himself would be doing the adaptation, because it made sense to me that this person who is a figure in the narrative, in the mythology, was probably considered to be in a version of the original story, and then for whatever reason got cut for time, so to speak, which used to be my lot in life. We're going to cut you out of the movie. You're just too good. But it was pleasant, and it was actually a really an honor in many ways to be asked to be this sort of new addition to the story that obviously has been such a favorite worldwide, and to be able to kind of have one of the co-creators be able to guide the process. So it was tremendously exciting, and I think it really worked.
In the sizzle there, we had a little snippet of a wonderful scene with Mad and Tracy that's coming up. I think it's episode 4 with the seance scene, which is, oh my god, it's so good. I can't wait for you guys to see it. In terms of bringing, your thoughts to a scene and how you see that character play that scene, was it a real collaborative process? Because that just looked like so much fun to explore, really.
Yeah, it was fun, and you've just got a day, so you better get on with it, kind of thing. But the thing is not to panic, and I just felt very relaxed because we're in incredibly.
Hold on a second.
Somebody's coming through.
It's Terry.
With Neil there constantly, anything you have.
Hold on, I'm going to give you my mic and we're going to fade yours back.
It's okay.
How weird is that, though?
Yeah, it's weird. That's really weird. Anyway, yes, feeling it in safe hands with Neil there, who is so generous-spirited and fulsome in his responses to any questions you might have. Likewise, Doug. I mean, just the atmosphere on set was just so lovely and relaxed that you couldn't but enjoy it. Yes, it was hard work, but it was also enormous fun. And just to get in that little arena and play with the very capable people who were in the scene with me was terrific. So that's great.
Michael, I know that you spoke to Neil about this, and I've known about this for a long time, been a fan of the book for a long time. But there's a really nice story about how you thought that he had you in mind for the other character, but you were like, this is not me, this is not the character that I see myself being out of these two. Is that right?
Yeah, I think there was a sort of assumption as we talked about it, and as Neil was sending me the sort of early versions of the scripts, that I thought Neil wanted me to play Crowley. And it turns out that Neil thought that I wanted to play Crowley. And so we went on this sort of strange dance for quite a while, where I'd be saying, oh, they're very good scripts, yes, very good. And we would be talking about the project. And I couldn't quite get up the guts to say, I don't want to play Crowley. I don't think I'd be good enough to play Crowley. And Neil was sort of thinking he wanted to say to me, I don't want you to play Crowley, I want you to play Aziraphale. And then there was an awkward dinner where finally Neil kind of said, look, Michael, what about Aziraphale? I was like, oh, thank God, yes. Oh, yes, please. And, you know, I just, as I was reading the scripts, that was the character that I just sort of resonated for me. And then he said, I want David Tennant to play Crowley, and I thought, well, that is perfect.
Oh, not you too.
How's that? That's better. No, because I didn't know all this was ticking away, of course. I didn't know Neil. I knew Michael a little, and I knew Douglas, but I didn't know they were all working on this wonderful thing. And this email just arrived with this extraordinary script, with Neil Gaimen's name on the front. Michael was attached, Douglas was directing. I thought I got somebody else's email. It all felt too good to be true. So I didn't take a lot of persuading. No, not really. I mean, it would it?
But it feels though as well in terms of, you know, these characters are written on the page, but to bring them to life and to really kind of, you know, give them emotion and blood and responses to each other and to other relationships as well. That's down to you. That's down to how the actors fill those boots and fill those characters. And was that a real collaborative process between, you know, yourself and Douglas and Neil about how you would bring both these two characters specifically to life?
Absolutely, and the way that Douglas works and the way that Neil works, you never felt like anything was off limits. You were encouraged to bring stuff, safe in the knowledge that Neil and Douglas absolutely knew when to stop and where to begin and what worked and what didn't. But you had this enormous safety net to just have fun with. But actually, you go back to the source material, and these characters, they ping off the page from the book and the script. They felt so alive already that really for us it was just, let's not break it. No.
I just hope now that Neil's going to write you to something else, because I'm sure you'll agree that the chemistry between the two of you and these characters is just absolutely extraordinary.